feel compelled to share this right now, that on Havenia, I just want, oops, the lights went dim, but the lights are back. That was not planned. That's part of the car thing. But the keys, turned off the engine. So anyways, I'm here at a really nice view. I don't know if you can see out there, but I'm overlooking the town of Dublin, California. And what's coming to mind is I'm seeing cars. I'm seeing on this freeway, there are red lights and there are what appear to be sort of like a whitish gold light. And obviously those lights are for traffic going for this way, traffic coming this way. And you know what those traffic lights all have in common? Or those headlights on cars and brake lights have in common? They're going places. Important word here is going places. Some of them are crossing bridges. Some of them are going through underpasses. Some are going through tunnels and highways. Some are on the freeway. Some are in the fast lane. Some are in the carpool lane. Some are on the far right. Some are in trucks. Some are in cars that have two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and many other options. But I want to hone in on one point. They're all going somewhere. Now, is the destination that they're going to? That would be unique to each individual. That'll depend on where their GPS is currently taking them or where they have in mind that they want to go. But anytime we want to go somewhere, it starts in our mind, right? And so what I realized with Havenia is through my prayer time is I try to ask, really though, prayer life I wish was a little better right now. It's kind of, but what I want to say is that, where will I go with this? God, would you help me say the right thing? Look, it almost, I just want to share what we're trying to accomplish. While these people are going places, not every place that people are going, they want to be going to. And not every environment that they return to when they come home is an environment that they want to be a part of. And not everybody's life is unfolding in such a way that they feel that is favorable, okay? But what I want to do is create a place through Havenia where believers of faith, right, common identity and shared values in Christ can find each other after working on the weekend. Some people have really tough work weeks. They have, work environments that aren't very enjoyable, and their home environment may or may not be great. That really depends on each unique individual's situation and stage of life. But here's the other important piece, is that it's easily accessible and that people have a variety of options. And these options of these fellowship experiences can be a place where people can find a sense of community and relationships they can go deeper with, and that would just be an available opportunity after work and on the weekend. And I think that can be done through technology because people are checking their phones a lot or checking their computer a lot. So this vision of all these places that people are going, it's like, but are they going to a place where I believe fellowship is the dawn of discipleship, and the journey that we're on together as Christians, as people of faith, is we're all on this, if you will, a journey in our faith and also with one another. And it's not always the activity we're doing sometimes in life, but it's who we're sharing it with. And to be able to share experiences with people who provide, who are looking to walk a straight and narrow path together. That's not like necessarily an easy thing, but people become a lot like who they surround themselves with. And so I don't think the answer is in religion. But I think there is that part of relational fellowship that is such an important part of a trajectory of an individual's life. And I can't easily put that into words. I can't it's something that just happens when you're in community with whatever group of people. Now, there's always pros and cons to every decision you make and relationships you choose to invest in your life, and there will be a trade-off. But I believe that the overall trajectory of someone's life, when they're supported, loved, and have a sense of faith, a sense of hope in their life, and whatever the object is placed in, but not everything we place our faith and hope in is can support our expectations, if you will. So it's very important, though, I believe, for the human experience to be able to share life with others and to be able to celebrate the highs, to support each other in the lows, to grow. And I just see that this future of, I might be wrong, but I'm just saying, I think this whole, metaverse, more immersive technology, we're going deeper. I know my solution's also technical, but it's hoping that it's not just about the tech, though. It's about the invitation through a commonly used place where people are spending their time, and that happens to be on their phone, that happens to be on their computer. And by them having that invitation through Havenia to local fellowship experiences that aren't, they're not standard routine, just, religious studies, but they're experiences with believers that I believe can have a profound impact on someone's life, and just what their entire trajectory is. And I believe from firsthand experience that who we choose to spend our time with and share memories in life with, some people are going to build you up, some people are going to tear you down. By the way, just being involved in a church doesn't guarantee you an out. There are plenty of people, unfortunately, that might wear that label but may not always live up to the expectation of what we might hope for and hope to see from people that share the faith. And it makes it hard sometimes. But if we can celebrate the moments, and if we can, if it doesn't work out, you can try another, fellowship outlet. But my hope, my heart has been really invested in this. I was since graduating from high school. I graduated in 2017. I never went to college, and I've been lonely and isolated. And I've gone to routine Bible studies like 4 or 5 nights a week for literally 2 years. And I'm looking for some way, because I love the people, but I don't always know how, and I want to go out and experience things with believers, but it's not a lot of times, or not non-believers. People are welcome, whether they're skeptical, okay, whether they're a passionate evangelist, whether they're somewhere in the middle. I mean, we've all been at different stages of opinions on all kinds of topics, and this is just another one of those journeys people take. And I would say I've swayed on the spectrum over the years, for sure. And what I will say, though, is if we can live in a world, or at least I think a world like that would be really, really cool, to be able to access fellowship with believers of shared values and common identity, Christ-centered. I think, to me, that would mean a lot to me. And I want to give that to this generation. I want to give that to Generation Z, and millennials, and whoever's around, baby boomers. I mean, all the above. But I want this generation, I want to sow that opportunity, that blessing, that experience into people's lives, to be available, to be easily accessible, not forced. I did street preaching. I try to tell, and not even just religious stuff, just trying to get people to see the world the way you do, or to want to, or to have them think a certain way, and to project that on people, people kind of don't like that. They don't dig that. And I certainly don't dig that either. I've had people do that to me on different topics where I was just kind of like, all right, like whatever. But I think an invitation into an experience, people can draw their own conclusions. They can determine whether or not it's a journey they want to go further in, or whether or not it's something like, I'm good, man. Or maybe they don't like going through it there, but they might try another outlet. And that's kind of my hope, is that just by inviting people into experiences that I believe and have affected me in a positive way. And actually, there's been, there's always, options that we have. But sometimes the options that are the highest dopamine releasing experiences that we can choose to pursue aren't always the experiences that that are best for us. I give like a classic example, like just because, something makes you feel really good doesn't always mean that it's a sustainable long-term habit. And a lot of times we see that in addictions, we see that in different behaviors, I think. And I want to create a place through Havenia, through, ministry, through faith, that like allows people to have a really amazing time, a deep bonding, awesome relationships, feel, not lonely, not isolated, but feel like in community, feel loved, cared for, and to not like just to feel it, but to like, for that to be real in their heart. Excuse me. And I think, I think that if we don't do that, I think the consequences, I just think that should be an option. I think that should be an option. And with that in mind, not every fun, entertaining experience is sustainable for the long term. So I just really wanted to create that. And I just think that would be such a cool way to help the church, to give it a feature. So right now the church has a bad, kind of a bad reputation. Or not a bad one, but like it hasn't been the best lately. But I think the church is in some ways going to die. But I think in other ways, it's going to come to life in ways that are profound and are more original and more relational and more like explosive in a good way. But I don't think it's going to be the way that it used to be. I don't think it's going to be as much dogma or rules. I think that's going to kind of fizzle out. I think but you know what? It's not about just my opinions. My hope is just to promote access to fellowship, let people draw their own conclusions. But yeah, I foresee the church having a future rooted in the fact that community and relationship and shared values and that accessibility to fellowship, I think, is going to be an important part of the future of the church. And I think, I want to be careful on some of the words I said, but I think a lot of what our faith is and our journey together, asking questions and seeking answers in life and God and things we aren't fully aware of, I think that there's a future there, and I think it's here to stay. It's just speculation, just opinion, but yeah, I know that's kind of an abstract thing to say, but that's really not my place. My place is more just invitation. And, I used to try and think like, if I'm going to push something out in the world, how can I make sure that there's only good comes from it? But honestly, it's weird because I notice that as we get older in life, our perspective on what is good and what we believe and don't believe changes a little bit. But some fundamentals, some core principles, and some what love means, unconditional love, I feel like those things kind of stay in you. Or at least for me, it's just been like deep inside. And there's plenty of times I don't demonstrate that, but like I think Well, I think that doesn't matter. What matters is that we keep trying. And that's why I'm posting this video. I would normally make this like, a support request or whatever, but I'm not even gonna like ask. I'm just gonna say, this is what I want to see in the world through Havenia. I want to try and bring that vision of believers everywhere they are after work and on the weekends to have access to fellowship in their local area, and whether wherever they are on the spectrum, whether they're skeptical exploring, which I guess maybe wouldn't be a believer, or they're passionate evangelists who's just on fire for it, but really that it's invitationally focused and people can draw their own conclusions, and that things aren't forced on people, but it's just accessible, just like going to a restaurant or going to the movies. It's just like something people have available to them, and if they want to go, they can. If they don't have to. So that is, yeah, I hope, there you have it. Cool.